Hi, I'm Nile. Good morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Good. How are you?
Good. So, what brings you in today?
I'm here because I'm a little frustrated at the moment.
Okay.
I am going to grad school in the
Mm-hmm.
fall. I've gotten accepted into two programs.
Okay.
One program here at George Mason for
Okay.
school psychology, and then also a program in San Diego State for school
Great.
psychology. Thank
Congratulations.
you. And the reason that I'm having such a tough decision with it is because I have lived at home all
Mm-hmm.
of my life. My mom is a single parent,
Okay.
and I think that I'm just a little afraid of
Mm-hmm.
maybe, going so far and not having her, and then vice versa, like
Right.
her not having me, and what that's going to be like. So just having a hard time making that decision,
Okay.
whether I should stay or
Mm-hmm.
go.
All right. So, what I'm hearing is that you're feeling kind of just a basic conflict between you and your decision, and you are having maybe just a possible guilt of leaving your mom.
Right.
You
Yeah.
got into two great programs, and that's something, of course, you seem very passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So what I heard is that that conflict is really just weighing on you. Am I on target with that?
Yes, you are. Yeah, it definitely is. More so because I feel like my mom really depends on me.
Okay.
She doesn't drive.
Okay.
I do a lot of activities with her, when I'm not in school and when I'm not busy. I do spend a lot of time with her. Even if I'm spending time at home with other people, like friends and stuff, like I'll bring them over. We
Mm-hmm.
can all like hang out and
Mm-hmm.
do stuff together. So, it almost feels like I'm not really sure what I'm going to do if I leave without her, and then, what she's going to feel like. And I don't want her to feel like I'm trying to get away from her or anything
Okay.
like that. But at the same time, I mean, I went to Mason for my undergrad
Right.
to stay around for a little bit longer, maybe for the both of us. But I feel like now I'm really ready to take another step and go to a new place and see something new.
So I'm getting the sense that you kind of are, you're very loyal to your mother. You have it seems like you have a great relationship with her. But I think, is it now that you're kind of yearning for some independence, not
Right.
necessarily from her, but
Right.
just in your own life?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I just feel like, grad school is, a big step.
Of course.
It determines more of like your specialized
Your career
area,
choice.
career,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like if the training that is, in California is going to be a better fit for what I'm looking,
Okay.
to do in the future, then I think that's where I should be versus trying to settle for another program that maybe, is just as
Right.
good, but not, focused or specialized in
Okay.
the area.
All right. Now this program at George Mason, so you must be familiar with it, just because you went to George Mason for undergrad, so
Right.
you're familiar with the area.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have a close group of friends, or do you have any friends that are going into the program as well?
I don't know anyone that's going into the program, so that's definitely an exciting part about
Right.
this, is that I will definitely meet new people no matter where I go.
Right.
But I really feel more strongly towards the other program, having interviewed at both places. I just feel like the program at San Diego has a lot more counseling, a lot more of a counseling focus. It also, focuses more on multicultural issues and working with children from, various cultural backgrounds. And I've taken a class during undergrad for the program here at George Mason, and it focused on multicultural, students and working with them in a school setting. But I believe that's the only class that's offered here, and
Right.
it's just something that I really feel like we should emphasize more, and that's where San Diego State kind of focuses a lot on.
Yeah, so
it's a totally different, region and place, but I feel like it would be a lot more specialized in that area.
Okay. So, what was your motivation to apply to beyond the multicultural specialty San Diego State had? Was there any kind of motivation other than just that specialty, pursuing that specialty to apply to San Diego State? Is there some relationship you're following, or do you have maybe a friend or two that lives in California that could be part of your support system over there?
No. When I initially started looking for school psychology programs, I went on the website, on a NASP website, which is the National Association for School Psychology website, and they actually have programs that are focused on bilingual and multicultural aspects of school psychology, and San Diego State was listed. I looked at the website. I decided, read through the bios, the professors, read through other students' comments, and I was, really kind of taken by all of those things that I read, and just looked at the coursework and how much focus they have in a lot of different areas, not necessarily just on assessment, or not so heavily focused on assessment, and so I really just thought that would be the best fit for me. But I don't have anyone there that no friends, no family, no one that I would know outside of the program.
But it does seem like your demeanor changes when you do talk about San Diego State, because it seems like you seem more excited just about the prospects of your career options, and then just the courses you might be taking. And I think maybe with George Mason, you just kind of have this sense of familiarity that it's there, you got into it, it's a great choice, but San Diego State might be a better fit for you just by the interests that you have. Am I on target with that?
Yes, you are. Yes, okay. Definitely. But then kind of the hard part about that is my mom,
of course.
I can't really take her with me, so I don't know what to do about that situation. And if I were to choose San Diego, I couldn't come home very often. It's not an easy flight, not something that I can just say I'm going, and so that's kind of definitely where I'm struggling.
Does your mom have a support system here? Maybe immediate family, or just cousins or close friends that she could rely on or even talk to now? Because it seems like she might be struggling with the issue as well. You going not to get away from her, but making this change in your life, which will obviously affect her life.
She doesn't have anyone here in Virginia. She does have an aunt in Florida. And then her other sister still lives in our home country. So we don't, she doesn't have too many people that she can go to.
So it seems like you sound like a little sad that you might be leaving her, and that she doesn't necessarily maybe have a friend, or I'm sure she has friends, but she might not have just someone she knows that she can rely on, because it seems like you do a lot of activities with her, just driving her around, bringing friends over, just to include her in your social life. I do a lot of that. If I'm going to the store, I'm like, hey, do you want to come with me? Just try to kind of spend some time with her whenever I can, even though I'm very busy. So how do you feel like your decision is going to, beyond just your decision to, say if you do choose to go to San Diego State, would there be any other implications of your decision other than just maybe the emotional aspect of it? Have you thought about the financial aspect, how you're going to support yourself?
That is also another issue. But at this point, I think that although I would definitely have a lot more debt, by the time that I was done there, it is a 4-year program.
Okay.
George Mason's is not as long.
Okay.
And so I think that, it will be stressful to take on, more loans and more debt, but I think that I'm ready to make the step, and I don't want to be somewhere for 3 years or 4 years if I'm not, going to enjoy it. So.
Right. And are you planning on, say if you do choose to go to San Diego State, are you planning on staying there for your career choice, like beyond graduation of your graduate program, or do you plan on coming back, or you haven't thought that far yet?
It's hard to say. Yeah, it depends on how much I really like it.
Okay.
When I went for the interview, I only went for, a couple of days, so I didn't really get to feel out the area too much, but it is a possibility. Sure. But then sometimes I think, well, I would just come back,
right? Because
this is kind of where my home base is, and my family's all on the East Coast, even if they're not in Virginia, they're all on the East Coast. So I don't have anybody on the West Coast.
All right.
So.
And have you gone beyond your interview? Like, have you gone to see what would daily life be in San Diego? Like, just is there housing? We previously discussed, you don't necessarily have a support system out there, but it seems like you're very personable, where you could meet a friend or a roommate, where you could form close ties to. But have you gone out there beyond your interview just to see what life will be like?
I have not.
Okay.
I went there for the interview, and then I got to spend kind of an afternoon there, and then flew out the next morning.
Okay.
The other students there, they were very nice, friendly. Everyone was pretty welcoming. But again, everybody has their own lives, and I didn't expect anyone to kind of show me around or anything like that. I'm a stranger, so I haven't done that, which I think would be something important to do before I make move across the country. Yeah. But at the same time, I just think that it's just going to be maybe a lot easier than I'm setting myself up for. So.
All right. How has conversations been like with your mom discussing your possible move?
Well, she starts off by listening to me, and then she just kind of, brings up points of why I should stay here, and the money thing always definitely comes up. But I just always assure her that it wouldn't be her issue. It's my issue. Would be my loans, my financial responsibility to pay for those things. And then she does bring up the fact that I could get the same education in both places, and why would I go so far, and it just wouldn't make sense, and all of those types of things. So she initially starts listening to me, but then kind of puts down the idea and tries to convince me otherwise.
So mom definitely is attentive to you at first, but I think maybe her own concerns about you leaving kind of get in the way, and I think she knocks down your idea.
Right. That's right.
So I think for our next session, when we meet again, I think that we should have you maybe possibly create a list, maybe just go down the middle, what the pros and the cons for George Mason and the pros and the cons for San Diego State. And it seems like we've discussed a lot of those, but I think getting those down in paper, certainly talking about the emotional aspects, the financial aspects, your career options, are you going to come back, are you going to stay there, and then kind of what are the further implications of that, with mom, is it an option to have mom move with you? So I think that's something, we can definitely work on. Also just maybe considering also going out to San Diego State for another visit, because I think a lot of times with interviews, we get nervous, and I think, we get nervous, excited, so I think we tend to see, the better parts of the situation. And I'm sure San Diego State is great, but I think for you to take another visit, I think would be really beneficial for you.
Okay.
Because seeing that day-to-day life and going when class is in session will definitely give you a better idea, and just seeing the area around it where you might be living.
Right.
Will give you a clearer picture, concerning safety, how much will you be paying for rent. So I think those are really great issues to take up with,
Right.
and I look forward to seeing you again.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.